teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. I actually just intended to hop on and do a really quick react to the I hate fake clout chasers that she put up, which I've no doubt will get deleted fairly soon. But then as I went to get ready and I came back, I realized that Just Saying had uploaded a recap. No, that's what I do. A cut down, sorry, my brain. It's already like 10:30 at night. I got nothing. Good luck to all of us. But a cut down of the I Don't Feel Well stream that she deleted, which I didn't realize was a stream she'd even done until I saw this edit. And I was like, oh, I'm such a bad reactor, you guys. Particularly at the moment, I'm really feeling the time difference with her. Maybe it'll be less so now I'm not at work anymore because I'll have more time during the day. But she's been deleting so often recently. I'm finding her really hard to follow with the timeline and the case of, okay, well, what did she do and what did she delete? And then, you know, she had that run of identically named streams the other day, and it's just been quite confusing for me. Someone did tell her during this that she had flashed again, and I remembered seeing that image on Twitter, and I was like, oh, it's this stream. So given that it had just come up, I was like, okay, we'll recap that one before we do the react. So Chantal was planning on seeing family today. Well, my time it's today. But she's getting a 5-star hotel, which, you know how she's been talking a lot about how, no, she's broken the payday cycle. And I'm like, really? You've broken the payday cycle by going to a 5-star hotel in Montreal? For no reason. Definitely by yourself. Definitely. She reiterates this a lot. We'll get into it. But her plan is Monday at the hotel and Tuesday at the Botanical Gardens, because she'll get a lot of content out of this, you guys. And she does have a budget, but you know, on YouTube, you have to spend money to make money. I mean, she spends money like water in general, but she's never put that much effort into her channel as a whole, so there's no reason she needs to go to a 5-star hotel. It's not like her hotel reviews are what people are there for. And then someone starts talking about Costco bees, and she's like, oh, I've got $1,000 in my wallet for Costco that I forgot about. Who forgets they have $1,000 in their wallet? Either it's a bit of a flex, or she is just that bad with money. Like, oh yeah, I mean, even the amount she makes, even if we approximate the amount she makes, $1,000 is a fair chunk, and she just treats it all like nothing. So you remember all the guys she's definitely seeing that are definitely real, and how she's got boundaries now, and that she can recognize red flags and it's not a problem. So there's a guy who says he'll do OnlyFans for her, but he isn't available till Wednesday and she doesn't want to wait until then. So she might make content in the hotel room. Later on at the very end of what I saw of the cut down, she reiterates like 90% yes, I'll make content. The fact that she supposedly has found a guy who, you know, has no problem doing that, will sign a waiver, will do whatever, but you know, oh, he's just not available. If we are to take her ludicrous stories as true, that doesn't set off any triggers. No, not at all something to worry about. No, I'll meet you in this hotel and we'll do OnlyFans. This guy you didn't know before now, who's just offering? No red flags? Okay, just checking. She mentioned something that made me a little uncomfortable. It wasn't just the OnlyFans, it was this particularly, because I think she's talking about the, she says sex tape, but do you remember way back when Nader filmed them having sex without her consent, and then she caught him, and then she felt kind of like stuck when he was like, no, I'll delete it. And she's like, no, it's kind of high, I guess you can keep it. So apparently he's still got that. And she wants to release the now termed OnlyFans content, if it's the same thing, which I'm assuming it is. She's now calling it OnlyFans content, which is not what it was. It wasn't even a consensual sex tape. It's like, he has footage and she's just trying to rewrite history here so it's okay that this thing exists. And she wants to call it One Night in Egypt, but Nader doesn't want to. And it's probably not a good idea now anyway. I'm like, yeah, no shit. You think. But yeah, Nader's still in control of that footage, and yeah, nothing to worry about there at all. Don't worry about it. I know she's trying to diffuse it in case he does release it at any point. I mean, he'd be an idiot too. There are revenge porn laws, but really, I was uncomfortable with that. I was uncomfortable with the way she is rewriting that. I would like her to not reimagine this as something that they did together that she's going to release, because it just excuses it. She asks Pete what's to get from McDonald's, and Pete says bent, and he's very proud of himself, immensely proud of himself. He goes to the chat, he's like, did you hear? Did you think it was funny? I said this, and she said this, and I said this. And it was all a little bit cringe, which the chat then told him, and then we moved on. Oh, she tells a story. Guys, the nostalgia. Do you remember when she would do mukbangs and it's literally like minutes between the words, before all the weed, before this was a regular occurrence, where she was trying to think of the story. So she was like, so then this, she tells a totally true story, you guys, of how she got her passes for the museum back. It's definitely not because Nader's going to bring them this weekend. She says she was going to Montreal to see Moroccan guy. She decided to go see Nader on the way to get the passes, and they ended up entirely unplanned in the motel metro or wherever. But you know, she's definitely going to a hotel alone this Monday, you guys. And then she further reinforces this by going, okay, here's the thing. Even if, and I'm immediately like, oh God. Even if it were true, she does this every time she lies. And she tries to lie, then people don't believe her. And then she gets annoyed. She's like, well, even if it were true, so it is true. Even if hypothetically something happened and I had a moment of weakness and he wanted to see me, the fact that I have boundaries now makes the difference. It's not the same situation. Oh my God. Are you serious? And she has to give the party line because she's got nothing else. She's got nothing more creative that might be more believable. You know, it's not true, but even if it is true, boundaries. And I'm like, prove your fucking boundaries, man, because it looks like you are paying for a 5-star hotel that you're going to meet him in. That's what it looks like to me. That is what history has taught us. And I don't care if Nader says, oh, I want nothing to do with her online. If she offers some money, he's going to take it. And then she's like, oh, it's not a cycle. And she starts laughing. And then she tries to excuse the laughing because she knows, she says she knows that we don't believe her. But it's like every hallmark of lying she has, just in one little segment. The audacity of this, she continues to try and justify the 5-star hotel, right, as affordable and a tax write-off. Honey, you need to pay taxes for it to be a tax write-off. My God. No, guys. It's a tax write-off for the taxes I haven't paid in 2 years. I didn't see it in this live. I did skip a little bit, so I might just have missed it in this live, or it might have been another one. But at some point, I did see a clip of her just going, if I owe 60 grand in taxes, maybe I'll spend a few months in prison. I was like, oh, I think it might be the previous live. I was like, seriously, she would not do well in prison. But that's where she is. She's like, yeah, if it's really high, I'll just go to prison. You know, it's better than trying to pay it. I'm just looking at her like, oh my goodness. She reiterates that she is on a budget, you know, aside from the $130 bong she bought. Oh, someone says something about if she keeps up the attitude, people will hate her. Just put a pin in that. It's going to be relevant for the react we're about to do. Speaking of attitude, the conversation turns to Nader. It's the same old shit. Still has feelings. He says he doesn't sleep with her, etc., etc. This little nugget of truth, I refuse to listen. I always do, because I think I can handle the situation. I mean, it's going well for her. I can see why she would think it. Someone tells her she can have everything she wants if she just puts the work in and stops with the constant live streams. I wasn't hearing very well. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. And she was like, oh, thanks. I think it was MK. Thanks, that's nice. What about the weed? Can the weed stay? Like, even when people are genuinely trying to be nice to her, she can't take anything seriously. And then she goes on her view of good and bad, which is pretty much what I would expect. I'm good for a while because I'm tired of being bad, and then I get bored and want to be bad. You remember at the very, very beginning when Nader was just this cool, dangerous guy she was dating, and it was like, oh, I was such a bad girl. That very much flashbacks to that. She has a mercifully short conversation about how in relationships there are people who are always more dominant. She's usually more dominant to the people around her, and so is Nader. The quote, in our relationship, there's a really unhealthy power dynamic. You have no relationship. Come closer. You have no relationship. Someone keep whispering that to her. She needs to hear it. She has a new wig, which she says was $180 and is real hair, and I very much doubt it. I'm sorry. The shine on it is wrong. Like, you see how mine is synthetic and it's got that shine? She's got that on her black wig. I would imagine she's been fooled by, like, you can sometimes have mixes, but the hair just doesn't look right, the way it's set, the way it falls, the hair strand quality, I suppose, the weird shininess to it. That is a synthetic wig. It's not a bad synthetic wig, but she's treated it like absolute trash. It doesn't look good because she hasn't brushed it out and stuff. I think she just probably unpacked it and put it on. Like, I think, no, not that it doesn't look good. I'll go back on myself because I'm being a bit harsh. I think it could look good, and I think she hasn't styled it. I think she just probably plopped it on. But it's not a terrible wig, but I do not think it's a human hair wig, and it's very unlikely she could get a good human hair wig for $180. Those things are expensive. I have seen, when I buy mine, I see the listing and it's like, real imitation hair. I feel like she might have been tricked by some kind of wording like that, but it very much looks like a synthetic wig to me, based on my experience of wearing synthetic wigs. This was the point where someone told her she had flashed her front again, and she was like, oh no, it just falls out. And it's like, well, you've got less chance of that happening if you wear pants, or if you wear underwear even. Like, you are on the internet, madam, and I know you do it all the time, and I know you don't care about it, but at some point YouTube might wake up. At some point, maybe. And, you know, maybe we don't want to see it. You have an entire platform dedicated to flashing your bits. Do it on there. Earn some money. She claims she doesn't mean to. It happens an awful lot for something she doesn't mean to do. She does mention she might hang out at the bar when she gets to the hotel. Like, oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. Watching her drunk in Cuba, it was a lot. It was interesting in some ways, in that kind of car wreck way where you can't quite look away, but that interesting in that way. Less, I mean, she was full of vitriol, so I don't know which side of her we get, but drunk foodie is never a particularly good foodie. Messy. She's very, very messy, and sometimes that can be entertaining, but then she starts getting messy about really serious things, like she did when she got drunk in her room, so you never know quite how far that's gonna go, and it's a wild ride, but oh, it usually ends badly. I thought we were not drinking on stream anymore as well, while I think about it, but you know, it's not like she ever keeps a word. I'm just gonna end what I saw. I'm actually gonna put a tiny clip in here so you can hear it.
No, I'm gonna bring other things. It has a like, I think her room, no, does it have a balcony?
So if you listen to that clip, you would have caught her accidentally saying our room instead of my room. And I know she refers to the Beezers as like our, and we need to do this at the Botanical Gardens, but it doesn't fit in that sentence she just told on herself. And that was the I Don't Feel Well stream. So we're gonna move right along. She put up a 4-minute rant about one of her Beezers. I think her name was Sarah Jane. So you remember earlier when someone told her, you know, with that attitude, people are gonna stop. You're gonna lose everything. I can't remember exactly what the wording was, but something along those, you know, maybe watch the attitude online because the people you insult literally pay for your life. That becomes slightly relevant here. She's angry. Now, the only do I will give her at this point is that I don't know how close they were because it wasn't a name I massively recognized. I think I've heard it before. It's not one of the top 3 or anything. But if someone I was close to, and this is the difference, she deems herself close versus being close to, but if someone I was close to went onto a panel and started shit talking me, I'd probably be angry and hurt about it as well. But as I say, I don't know how close they were, and it doesn't excuse this, but depending on their relationship and what it was behind the scenes, there's a lot of lines here that have been crossed, you know? So let's pull this up. Famous last words. So this is Editing Milk. A little bit later into this react, there's going to be a weird cut, and I'm going to tell you that my computer blue screened, and it decided to not save the clips that I was working on, and I didn't realize till after I'd recorded the second half. So I don't actually have the video of this part. I'm going to watch through and we'll just do it by audio for a couple of minutes. I'm really sorry.
So I'm not going to be live for very long. I just want to get a message out there, and then I just don't even want to talk about it anymore. I just don't want to deal with it.
So she wants the last word. Got it.
And then I'm going to be off live for a little while until I get to my hotel room, probably later. Been working on a vlog throughout the day. That's my plan for the next couple days. Being alone.
Definitely alone then. Definitely not choosing to stay off live in the car because Nader's there. Yeah, definitely not. Even though she goes live on basically every car journey she ever does.
Filming content, editing in the hotel room, relaxing by myself. But so I'm listening to random live streams, I don't know, and this is the first time I've actually listened to in the beginning anyways, I've listened to like a good chunk of one of like a panel talking about me.
Odds that this is the first time she has listened to a panel talking about her. Oh wait, just put it down in the comments. I'm sure this is brand new territory for her. Please excuse me if there's a bit of a weird cut here or if we've gone back in time slightly in the video. My computer very rudely just decided to blue screen on me, and it was like, there's an error. I was like, but why though? But why? So I just need to restart everything.
And a frigging former Beezer, somebody I thought was an actual friend. There's no friends on, what I've learned, there's no friends on YouTube.
I was about to say, but she seems to have gotten there. She keeps doing this where she thinks her audience are her friends, and when she starts kicking people out of her audience, of her paid chat, it's because those people are supposed to be her absolute supporters. And this has become more and more prominent the last few days. And she's really been like, yeah, I want a hug box. So what? If you support other people that don't like me or other people that are insulting, then you're not a real Beezer. You can get out of here. You're replaceable. And it's just an extension of this. Like I said, I don't know how close they were behind the scenes, but we don't hear Sarah Jane's name as often as like the Holy Trinity in the chat. So I think Sarah Jane sounds like she was a Beezer. I feel like I've heard her name before, so enough to be somewhat known in the chat, but to sit there and be like, oh, this is a betrayal of friendship. You know, there are no friends on YouTube. Yeah, there are no friends on YouTube. You can be friendly with other creators and everything, but in Foodie's world, in her community, the people in her chat are not friends. They are subscribers. They are paid members. They're not friends. She doesn't have that kind of community.
There's no fucking such thing. So you want to know why I don't have more friends? Because there's no such thing as loyal people.
Because you're a terrible person and you don't inspire loyalty.
So what's the point? I'm getting off soon because I'm going to put music and like not. So.
She's not stopped streaming before when she's had music on. She's just demonetized it. So there's no reason to stop the stream. other than the fact that she doesn't want us to see who else is in the car with her.
Somebody who's like, somebody that was a friend who I recently sent them a birthday gift and everything.
Oh, I think I missed that in the first time I watched it. I didn't realize. Okay, so they were close enough that they'd exchanged something.
I'm a bad person. I'm not a good person. No, sorry.
You're not a good person.
I'm not a good person sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not a good person sometimes. Nobody's a good person all the time.
Right. So text messaging me, you have no problem telling me that you support me unconditionally. You know what it's like to be in an abusive relationship.
Question, if that text message exists, which it might, when did she receive it? Because I feel like, particularly if you're a newer subscriber and you came in through the Nader arc, you weren't here for the old Laura Foodie, I would say that's quite the gambit of emotions to run. Because if you're new to Foodie and you came in and saw her as the victim of sexual abuse, and then it came into what it is today, I would imagine your opinion has changed somewhat.
Because you fucking were in one, but yet you judge me on panels where you can get clout. Hi, I'm a beezer. No, you're not a fucking beezer, Sarah Jane. You're a fucking two-faced fucking lying you're not.
She's not a beezer anymore. from the sounds of it, but yeah, she paid her money, she was a beezer. You don't like the fact she's talking about you, but that's the thing with Foodie. She pushes, she uses, and people get used up, and then she tells you, well, you're replaceable. And then she's shocked that these things happen.
Oh, I canceled my beezer membership. It's so nice to know that you're on a panel of people judging me who can't see any good. By the way,
sorry, I don't know what was going on with the video at this point, just the way she was driving.
Asshole, whoever the fuck you were, a better person than you are, because I don't need to go on panels and judge people.
She can judge people right here on her channel.
Okay? Yeah. But you do. So, I don't know, like, what the hell?
Potato quality, my God. I love it. I love it when Foodie plays superior Foodie. It's like, well, at least I don't do this, madam. Can you imagine when she gets to the hotel, if she does end up filming herself drinking, if she manages to get rid of Nader somewhere long enough, like the stuff that's going to come out because she's already kind of simmering. Oh, we're going to see some things, and then she's going to talk about how much better she is than other people. Like, we have seen you drunk on live, cussing out anything you can think of. We've seen you making finger guns to the audience. We've seen you do this. I'm not saying there aren't worse people than you out there, but I'm saying when it comes to her paid members, nobody is better or worse here. So to turn around and be like, well, you were on a panel, at least I don't have to do that. You do enough. You don't need a panel. But if we want to talk about panels, how did the last one go for you?
What's with clout chasers? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't agree with everything you do. Okay, so if you have a friend, do you not? And this was my problem when I got in a fight with Shannon. That's done with. We're friends again.
Shannon was in her real life before that happened, but they had a whole history in person before Shannon became an online entity. This is not the same thing.
But if you're my friend, come to me and tell me. What do you have a problem with? Things I say when I'm drunk? I'm so glad that people are so fucking perfect.
This is probably why she didn't come to her. You know, whenever anyone criticizes Foodie, well, I'm so glad you're perfect. No, none of us are perfect. But then also not all of us are getting messy drunk online. You know, there are lines to what she does. There are limits to what people choose to do. And she doesn't choose to heed those limits. So when she's coming online, drunk off her face, doing things that are incredibly offensive in relation to a recent tragedy, for example, yes, not everybody does that. It doesn't mean that everyone else is perfect. It means you're particularly messy.
I'm so happy you're perfect. I'm so happy your life is so wonderful and you never fuck up in life.
Again, it seemed, from what she said, I mean, I don't know about this birthday gift, but she's saying that this person, at some point in the arc of the essay accusations, has sent her a message saying, I will support you. I will support you in this because I've been through something similar. Then it turned out those accusations were trash, and she went to the police and said they were trash and she made them up, and I know she's taken them back and forth, but yeah, it might cause an opinion to change.
You know what? And this is not people talking shit about me on the internet, because really, I don't give a fuck what irrelevant A, B, and C think about me.
Clearly you do, because you're raging. Again.
Really, I don't.
And weren't you raging very recently about, oh, what are their names? Breezy is her name, I think, who I've seen a couple of her clips now, and she seems quite sweet. She was raging about her recently. She was raging about garlic bread. Like, she's been full of rage. She's an angry little egg.
They just talk shit anyway. Oh, she thinks her vagina's deep. She's so stupid. Anyway, who cares? If you don't want to hear about my vagina, guess what?
If you don't want to hear them talking about your vagina, guess what?
You don't have to watch it, because I'm going to keep talking about my vagina.
And they're going to keep talking about you. What's your point?
Okay. So there. I really am done with fake people.
You don't seem done. You seem very much like you're going to continue.
Fake friends, fake everybody, and if you're in here, I'm going to block you whenever I'm done.
But she definitely won't look at the chat while she's driving.
Cancel my...
She actually didn't during this. It didn't seem she was too angry.
My membership. What, you don't, like, really? Like, some friend you are.
So is she angry about the cancelled membership or her going on the panel? Because she seems just pissed about everything.
Like, really? I cannot believe how two-faced. Like, if anything I've learned on YouTube, you know what? You call me a fucking liar, I'm the most genuine person of all the people criticizing me.
What? I have a problem with the definition of genuine in the sense of Foodie lets it all hang out quite literally, physically, a lot of the time. Yeah? She lets it all hang out. But to say she's genuine, we don't see the truth of Foodie, we discover the truth of Foodie. Yeah, and she goes to great steps to try and prevent that, but she's not very good at it. So to say she's genuine, on one hand, I mean, she's a mess. She's a mess, and we see a lot of that online, but it's frequently not her intention for us to see it.
Of being not genuine. You know why? Because I'm not two-faced like that. I don't fucking say I'm your friend, or I don't fucking...
No, she just says, no, I'm not seeing Nader while driving to see Nader.
Talk to you, and then I go on panel, or I fucking do a panel about you for fucking hours. No, I'm not like that. I'll never be like that. I'll never be somebody who has to talk shit about other people.
Sorry. I don't think I need to comment on that. I think the audacity of the statement itself is enough.
So, fuck you.
She is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, if there's anything the last few weeks particularly have shown us, it's how absolutely unwilling she is to confront the truths of her own personality. We use the word delusional a lot, but ever since the whole empath arc of going down the line, just the more she talks, the more you realize she's just not willing at all to recognize herself. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.